Hello and welcome back to another rd2l mini series. We are in Division 2. We've already met Ruffneck's team, the handsome athletic man. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. Against Trap Waifus Hull City's team.
Remaining.
We'll
5
see
seconds remaining.
what's gonna be the first bans here.
Dire
It's
team
gonna be a
ban.
Doom ban.
Radiant
This
team
game, as
ban.
far as I'm aware, it was played on
Dire
7.23b, not C. Just so that you're aware, the Crystal Maiden nerfs haven't been in place yet. Tree and Protector doesn't have Tree Walk yet. The big things. Puck getting banned out. Puck a really strong support at the moment, as well as a flex pick to go into mid, and we saw what these mid laners can do on Puck. We see a Venomancer ban. Venomancer has been banned out quite a lot, or first picked even.
5
Seems to be a
seconds
very strong
remaining.
hero and very popular among the players. Now handsome athletic men are dipping a bit into their reserve time here, thinking about what
Radiant
the next
team
ban they
ban.
want to do. It is a Night
Dire
Stalker ban.
team ban.
Also in a bad ban now, there are now mostly offlaners being banned out. Doom, Venomancer, a bad Night Stalker. And there's still Sand King in the pool, there's still Legion Commander in the pool. The question is now, Dire doesn't have first pick, so if they have one that they don't want to give away, they most likely want to ban that here. But it also might limit them to which
10
offlaners they
seconds
themselves can pick. Of course, you can
5
always never
seconds
go wrong.
remaining.
You can never go wrong with a pick like Tidehunter or Axe. Those heroes, while not being the creme de la creme, just all around good,
Radiant team
never
pick.
bad. Vengeful Spirit ban, feeling
Dire
that
team
support is a bit too strong at the
Crystal
moment.
Maiden.
First pick Crystal Maiden. As I said, the aura still giving magic resistance, very strong. And how is Ruffneck's team going to respond to a Crystal Maiden? Crystal Maiden, very
10
safe
seconds
opener. It
remaining.
doesn't reveal anything about your lanes. It just says, hey, we have this
5
ultimate in
seconds
team
remaining.
fights that you need a stun for.
Dire team, Radiant team.
Oh, there is a Tiny and an immediate second pick, Ogre. Ooh, so Tiny and Ogre. Tiny, a hero we have been seeing banned in this patch quite a bit so far, and we'll see if it's now Tiny safe lane with his new tree grab that gives him a free battle fury.
10 seconds
And Ogre
remaining.
Magi, very good at buffing up another core with the
5
Bloodlust,
seconds
like
remaining.
the Tiny. Tiny profits so much from attack speed. So strong opener there from the handsome athletic man for sure. Also, both of them have stuns. It's always good. Have stuns on your teams. I know it's not always the cool thing to do, but stuns win games. We'll see how Trap Waifus are going to respond to this.
Radiant team ban.
There we have a Leshrac. Leshrac
Dire
being
team
picked up.
ban.
Interesting. On the Dire side, I would recommend banning something like Sand King. Sand King Leshrac can be a very potent
Radiant
combination.
team
Borrow
ban.
Strike into Split Earth.
Dire team ban.
There are, we see Conquer bans, Lone Druid ban, Drow Ranger ban. And now the last ban of the Dire side in the second ban phase on the way. This draft is going rather fast, especially in the banning phase. Was barely like 10 seconds for these 3 bans to come out.
10 seconds
Both teams
remaining.
knowing what they want to play and then knowing what they don't want to play against.
5
Lone
seconds
Druid,
remaining.
very strong hero at the moment, so.
Dire team pick.
Ursa getting banned out. Ursa has been making a huge comeback in this patch. So We'll see what's gonna be the next pick here for the handsome athletic man. It is most likely gonna be a Leshrac support, I would assume. Leshrac offlane or mid, it is played sometimes. Even position 1, there was this time where Lifestealer was mostly a support, and you would have like a position 1 Leshrac, and then as soon as Lifestealer hits 6, you go into Leshrac, and Leshrac is far too fast and just walks everybody down, as well as has so much health, and it's impossible to deal with. But not sure if we're gonna see that here. Lifestealer support has been nerfed quite a bit.
Radiant
And
team
it is
pick.
going to be a Dusk. Very brawly kind of hero. So it's going to be Ogre Magi and Tusk support duo. This is going to put Tiny on a core role. Most likely going to be safe lane. That's what I've seen happening with that hero a lot.
10 seconds
I like the
remaining.
Tusk pick. A lot of burst against Crystal Maiden, a lot of burst
5
against
seconds
Leshrac,
remaining.
and the save with the snowball in the hand of a very competent player can be absolutely huge. They will now most likely gonna be picking up their offlaner here on Hull City side. Again, I would say Sand King Leshrac is an absolutely deadly combo. Even being as tanky as an Ogre Magi, like you maybe survive the combo once, but the second they decide to go for the Underlord, seeing that at the moment Tusk as well as Tiny very much rely on their physical damage. It's just Ogre Magi as well, unless multicast Fire Blast, but and Underlord heavily reduces that. Nice pickup there, Underlord, a hero we've been seeing a bit more now in this meta than in the previous one.
5 seconds remaining.
And now we are going to be seeing most likely in the safe lane or the off lane for Handsome Athletic Man. And then they will leave their mid for the last pick. They are dipping into their reserve time here, thinking quite a bit here what they want to do. So it is going to be together with the Tusk. Something that can attack rather fast would be nice, to make use of that tag team. But that's not really the offlaner kind of type. Maybe Beastmaster. Beastmaster with the boars. Triggering the tag team, as well as the attacks from Beastmaster himself. Be quite a potent lane. They go for the Sand King themselves. I like it, take it away. I mean, not really taking it away since Radiant did take Underlord, but I am surprised that Radiant didn't pick up the Sand King themselves. I do think Sand King is a really strong offlaner right now.
10
I would say a
seconds
tier
remaining.
above Underlord, but we'll see. Maybe the rest of the draft makes sense to have an
5
Underlord on your
seconds
team
remaining.
instead of Sand King. It does give them good pushing power as well as good tower damage. That's the one thing that Sand King kinda lacks. Underlord, after winning a team fight, plus 300 damage is just gonna shred your base. As well as the Underlord, he's getting really tanky with the Crystal Maiden Arcane Aura. Could be good, could be good. Now we're gonna see what the trap waifus are going to be picking up here. Might be their mid, might be their safe lane. They are going to have to reveal their full draft before the opponent has to. They could go for, it's gonna be against the Sand King, maybe Juggernaut. But Juggernaut might just die against Tiny. the physical output from Tiny as well as Tusk. They are going for the Life Stealer. So, are they gonna try to do this Life Stealer support Leshrac core combo, or is this a Life Stealer core? We will see. Bit surprised to see the Life Stealer pick up. I haven't really seen Life Stealer a lot, but wait, did we get into a pause? Yes, we did. There is a pause happening. Sorry, misclick. Well, if it was a misclick, just continue. There's a slight pause happening. So I am surprised about the Lifestealer pickup. I haven't really seen him as a core since the changes, like since the new patch 7.23. I've only really seen him as the support that was then nerfed. So we'll see how it's gonna work out here. Of course, like nearly every core player, like every safe lane player knows how to play Lifestealer. It's a hero that's in pretty much everybody's repertoire. And are they going to resume anytime soon here? There was a disconnect from Hull City. Hull City. So I am going to get a little bit faster just so that we don't have to wait here too long. Yeah, good thing I did that. Yeah, this is quite a long. He coming. How on pause? Okay, now we're continuing. Okay, so we are continuing. They did not wait for Hull City to get back here.
Radiant team pick.
So in terms of bans, we see a Viper getting banned out. Viper getting banned out, and a Razor getting banned out. Razor very, very strong against Lifestealer, of course. It's pretty much like an owner putting his dog on a leash, and Lifestealer can't really do much against it.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We're gonna be seeing what's gonna be the last pick here for Trap waifus to round up their lineup.
Dire team pick.
And it is gonna be a Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight mid. This is going to give them... They have a lot of push. I am a bit scared for this dire lineup. Like Dragon Knight, Underlord, Leshrac. All of those heroes have so much push potential. Together with the Crystal Main Arcane Aura. They don't really care about the Sandstorm because of the magic resistance, as well as Underlord most likely gonna build a pipe. So we'll see how this is going to work out here. Last pick of this first game. It is going to be Timbersaw. Timbersaw to try to deal with the push. Just gotta be in front of the tower. And it is a position 1 Lifestealer played by Soundproof. So we can hide the chat now. Okay. And we will be... So it is gonna be a mid matchup between Sev versus Dragon Knight. Of like Timbersaw versus Dragon Knight. Timbersaw, I feel like it's gonna be able to push that lane and doesn't really let Dragon Knight hit his tower. That's really good. I am scared, however, for the other lanes though. If Dragon Knight rotates, Timbersaw has to rotate as well, because otherwise your towers are going to go down. There is going to be Diabolic Edict, there's going to be Firestorm, there is going to be the Dragon Knight hitting your tower with Dragon Form. And we will be moving into the game now. Oh, somebody wanted to play some Void Spirit. Somebody wanted to play some Razor. And we are into the game. We will be going to a free camera. Oh yeah. So we have a pause immediately. We will go over the players. It is going to be for the Radiant side lineup. It is going to be Soundproof on the Lifestealer, Sick Boy on the Dragon Knight going mid, Hull City on the Underlord going offlane, Gordon on the Leshrac, position 4, and Theno on the Crystal Maiden, position 5. Meanwhile, on the Dire lineup, we have Ruffneck on the Sand King, Sev on the Timbersaw going mid, Hype on the Tusk, and 3 on the Ogre Magi, position 5, and last but not least, the Tiny, played by PMA. Nothing, they were gonna pick nothing. I will be jumping forward. This seems to be quite a long pause here. And he reconnected. Are we gonna get this game on our way? No. There we have the game on our way. And we are starting out now. So Gordon, he has a Blightstone. He is ready to fuck some people up. This middle matchup is gonna be most likely very farm intensive and not really kills here, unless there are some misplays happening. I feel like Timbersaw could exploit some misplays by the DK if those happen, but he has a lot of reach and three tangos of his own as well as 2 shared tangos. I'm still confused about safe lane carries buying Quelling Blade at the beginning, but there is no more side shop, so all good there.
30 seconds to battle.
Cause I am. Ha!
Come and fight me.
Somebody wants to fight here. And it is. There is a stun into a tag team and Crystal Maiden. She is getting slowed here. Is she gonna go down? Yes, first blood for the Sand King.
Strikes the perfect note.
And there we already see tips coming out.
The battle begins.
And in terms of bounty runes, it is gonna be 2 for 2. Gordon snatching it away from the Ogre. Explaining that the tips aren't even like worth anything. It is pure BM. And pretty sure tipping means they're impressed by me. Yeah. Sorry to tell you. There we have 3 with the point in Bloodlust, wanting to smack people.
Revive them. Oh yes.
And so far, like all lanes, just not really much kill potential here, except if we have a Sand King into Sand King stun into the tag team, as we saw on the Crystal Main earlier. But we'll see if this is going to happen again. Soundproof, meanwhile, is rather free. Has the feast level 1. It's gonna be very tanky. Disco Pony just showing off the disco, having everybody party. They are going to hit a few hits into the tree, playing the ogre. Now we see now 2 points in reactive armor on the timber saw. Dragon Knight is gonna does have 1 point in Dragon Blood, but only level 2 so far. Is hitting level 3 right about now, and is gonna go for a 2nd point in Dragon Blood as well. So both of those heroes are gonna be not really killable. Not really killable. There's a tag team, but they are trying to turn this around on the Tusk here. Soundproof dealing a lot of damage with the rage, negating the tag team. Do they have sentry vision? No, they don't, but they did get a pull. So Soundproof also getting some nice jungle creeps to farm. Are they gonna get denied? Nice deny by the Crystal Maiden. There we have Diabolic Edict onto the ogre here, and he is gonna get low here. Avalanche to stop the pursuit. And he is gonna be fine. Soundproof now mostly alone in lane, and Crystal Main just doing some stacking and pulling shenanigans. There we have a stun onto the lifestealer, but not much to write home about. Just checking
Radiant's
that my
courier
frames
has
are
been killed.
Oh no! Seth, Sick Boy losing his courier to Seth, but finds a haste rune. What was on the courier? Did he get the items? It sure looks like he has 2 bracers. So we see both of these mid laners just duking it out, but not too much happening there. Meanwhile, Tiny, he has the lowest. Oh, we miss a kill here. Another Sand King stun into the tag team, and Snowball and Ice Shard. The ice was not on the side of the Crystal Maiden. Unfortunate there. One small misstep, and that is going to happen to you as the Crystal Maiden early on. She has now 2 points in Arcane Aura, so the Arcane Aura magic resistance is going to be leveled up. As Soundproof is going to stop the pull from happening. There is another stun onto the Crystal Main. Is there going to be a follow-up with the Snowball? No, but Crystal Nova onto both heroes, enabling Soundproof to hit. Oh, and I missed the kill top, always on the wrong side of the map. It is Leshrac just walking down the Ogre. Ogre very tanky, but has to be careful against the Diabolic Edict. And now 40 bounty runes. It is a 1-for-1 exchange so far. It is a 2-for-2 exchange. Both sides picking up 2 runes. Disco Pony just wants to get the party started. And Crystal Mint just continues to pull, enabling the Lifestealer to have a really free lane. There is not much kill potential onto the Lifestealer, but there is a smoke up from the Tusk with the Sanky. And nice Ice Shards. Crystal Maiden is going to go down here as well. Tag team, there's still a Snowball available. And Crystal Maiden going to go down once again. 3 deaths now for the Crystal Maiden. All of the deaths for this dire side were done by this duo here, Ruffneck and Hype. Doing very well in the lane in terms of getting kills, but not really well in terms of hindering this Lifestealer's farm. He has 32 CS, 6 minutes in. A DD is gonna get picked up by the Timber Saw. He is level 6 now, same as the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight finished his Soul Ring. And Underlord, we see now he is just pushing this under the tower and trying to push this Tiny out of lane now. There is a rotation from the Tusk. And the Ice Shards, nice blocking in. But they are just trying to turn this around with Diabolic Edict, and Tiny is dead. And Tusk, did he chew off more than he can chew? No, he is gonna get under the tower. But there was the courier from the Underlord was getting killed by Tree. But you can't underestimate the damage potential from these two heroes.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Heroes getting killed all around the map. Timber Saw just going behind the tower, and Sigboy's like, what? I one-shot him. I don't know how. Yeah, when the player doesn't even know what he really did there. There is a poor man's shield now found for the Lifestealer. There we have a stun onto the Leshrac, and Leshrac is taking a lot of damage here. But Tusk is going to go down as well. 1-for-1 exchange Tusks. And meanwhile bottom they find the kill onto the Sand King as well. And at the end, Ogre getting killed by the Underlord. Underlord, he is so strong in this early game. So strong. Has a really good time in his lane. He is gonna go for a Spirit Vessel against the Timber Saw so that they have killing potential when he's finished it. Already has 2 Urn of Shadow charges.
Radiant's middle tower
And
is under
this
attack.
Lifestealer is having the game of his life. There is another kill onto the Crystal Main. Sand King and Tusk. Tusk was like, hey, bottom didn't work out so well. Can we just do this
Radiant's
bottom here
middle
again?
tower is
That
under
was
attack.
good.
I have punching for you.
And Sand King finished now the Veil, is going to go into a Blink Dagger next. Timber Saw
Radiant's
has
middle
the
tower
typical
is under
timber
attack.
items. Has to be careful with his courier if he continues to be under tower. Where's the DK? DK is rotating top. Is going to go into his threats. And they do want to take this tower.
Radiant's
I'm not
middle
sure if you
tower
can
is
defend
under
this,
attack.
Tiny. Tiny is by himself. And they are more than ready to dive this tower. There is the Split Earth. It's gonna miss onto PMA. But there is the Diabolic Edict as well as the Dragon Knight. Pit of Malice hitting onto the Tiny as well as
Radiant's
hitting the
middle
Sand
tower
King.
is under attack.
There is a Veil available now.
Radiant's middle tower has
And
fallen.
they are diving this tower now, but they are in a precarious situation. Everybody from the Dire is TPing in. It is a 4-on-3 fight. But the Dragon Knight is the tankiest of the heroes, and Sand King already going down. Another Pit of Malice here. Dragon Breath and the Firestorm onto 3 heroes. But they did go down to the Timber Saw. Timber Saw a lot of burst now, and Dire just brought everybody, while Radiant only brought 3 heroes. Sandstorm to stop the overtaking of the outpost. Tusk is so annoying.
Radiant's top tower is under
He
attack.
stopped it 2 times to get the first with the ice, with the snowball, then with the walrus punch. But he might pay with his life here. Split Earth is going to hit, and that's dead Tusk. Kill for soundproof. Was it worth it? Most likely not, but
Double damage.
the entertainment factor definitely there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And we see now Timber Saw, he is in this state where he is really strong. He has a hood now. And the question is, are they going to be able to deal with Timber Saw? Timber Saw is TPing top. They don't want to give up this tower for free. No, not able to deny it, but there is a snowball. And he is going to Dark Rift out, but too much damage. with the Tusk, Snowball, Tag Team, and Walrus Punch. And he says, fight me. There is a Power Strike out from the Sand King, stun onto him, and the Infest damage is well more than enough to kill the Sand King, and he also wants to kill this Ogre. Soundproof having a fantastic game so far, finished up his armlet, going for a magic wand next. Dragon Knight trying to push this tier 1 tower here now. With the dragon form, but sees now there are multiple heroes here. Another smoke from the Dire side. Tusk and the Timber Saw. They do offer a lot of damage. Haste onto this Dragon Knight. Are they going to be able to find this killer? Snowball, he is going to be able to run it out. Yes, outside the shard. And that's unfortunate there. If it was any other rune than Haste, that would have most likely been a kill on the Dragon Knight. Sand King is gonna take this outpost back here. Radiant wants to make a move. Oh, he is Soundproof already going on to Sand King. He has Sandstorm, of course, knows he can't really die here.
Is under attack.
There are 3 heroes against the 4 heroes here. Radiant is ready to fight. There's a Snowball onto the Leshrac. Meanwhile, Lifestealer already opening up onto the Sand King, but Leshrac dead with the Walrus Punch, and Soundproof now a bit in a precarious situation. Is he gonna go down here? It sure looks like his team has abandoned him, and Soundproof did go down. And a disconnect from the Underlord once again. Seems to be having trouble with his internet. In terms of items, we are seeing. So we have the Veil onto the Sand King. Oopsie. How much gold does he have? Is he closing in on his Blink Dagger? Yes, only 1,000 more gold to go. We have the Hood on the Timber Saw. Tiny doesn't have too much to his name yet. Underlord finished now the Spirit Vessel. There's the armlet on the Lifestealer. And Sick Boy on the Dragon Knight is going to go for a Maelstrom next. So we'll see. This Tiny, does he have anything? Is his courier coming out? It looks like it. Is there anything on his courier? Drums. He finished up his drums. I was gonna say, it seems a little bit low. And we are gonna jump ahead a little bit. Seems to be quite a long pause. A very long pause, to be honest. And at the moment, I mean, it is should count towards me not dying. So in terms of advantage at the moment, Dire is looking quite good. I would say though, this Lifestealer, in terms of net worth, is scary. Like Timber Saw, it's nice and good, but I feel like they have the answers to Timber Saw. They have Dragon Knight, they have a Spirit Vessel on Underlord, and they have Lifestealer. So they have the answers for this Timber Saw, and it very much comes down to if this Tiny is gonna be able, how this Tiny is gonna be able to be in the team fights, and if he's gonna be able to find kills. And he did reconnect now, and we are resuming. We are back in the game, boys. Back in the game. So this Tiny has his drums now. It's going to go for a Mask of Madness into Sunshine Yasha. Dire is taking this tier 1 bottom here after just having taken down the kill on the Lifestealer. So good movement there from the Dire. But it's not a huge lead, you see, it's a very, very small lead. And in experience exactly the same. Timber Saw is keeping mid now. They have to stun onto the Timber Chain, as well as the open wounds with the Spirit Vessel coming in from the Underlord. There we have the Spirit Vessel charge onto the Timber Saw and the stun onto Zeph, and Zeph is going to die here. Crystal main ultimate to ensure the kill in the end as well on the Timber Saw as well as the Ogre Magi. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's a 6.5k net worth, but he just died without really doing much. And that's 2 towers for this Radiant side. Very well played there by the fake trap waifus. Fake waifus. I forgot about what the name was. Something with waifus. And Ruffneck, he has now his Blink Dagger. It's gonna TP out. Nice TP out there. In the last moment there. And now we have a Blink Dagger on this Sand King. He is gonna be able to initiate much better now.
This'll come in handy.
Lifestealer going to go for a Desolator. And both teams had an outpost, but in terms of Bounty Runes, it is 3 for Radiant at the moment. It might be 4. It is going to be 4 actually. Soundproof. Gonna get that last hit, then be like, hey. Oh, Vampire Fangs found by the Dragon Knight. That's gonna be really good on the Lifestealer. Really, really good on the Lifestealer. Also on the Dragon Knight, to be honest. And they are taking down this tier 1 here with the Diabolic Edict. Like I said, this tower push from this Radiant lineup is huge. The Underlord, the Dragon Knight, the Lifestealer. Meanwhile, they just let their Soundproof farm. Like, they have 1 disable through the Rage, and that is the Walrus Punch. Ooh, stun to cancel the TP of Soundproof. He didn't want to Rage for it. But meanwhile, they do find the kill on the Timber Saw. Again, Timber Saw, he is your most farmed heroes, but the way he wants to play, he can't play against this lineup. You can't go into a Spirit Vessel Underlord with Pit of Malice, with Dragon Knight stun. It's a 2.5 second stun at level 1.
Ready for a fight.
They did get back this outpost.
But
But meanwhile, Radiant is like, yo, we're taking your tower, okay? And we see now it's a 5k lead. Just like 2 minutes ago, it was a 1k lead. And that is just as Radiant, like they are ready to group up and just push down towers. Meanwhile, letting their Lifestealer farm.
Come and fight.
And they do rotate now top here. They are aware that there might be a ward up here, so. Oh, DK. Is he gonna... Oh, he's gonna block this camp. What a dick move. What a dick move, DK. Well played. Well played. Just gonna stay there to like 3 seconds longer and then TP out to ensure that the enemy doesn't have an Ancient Stag for a minute. The Dire is smoked up. Are they gonna be able to find a kill with this? Ooh. They realized somebody was up here, but they didn't have the vision for it. Ogre is still smoked up, but they are going into the wrong direction here. Well played by Sick Boy. Meanwhile, Radiant is just pushing out top. Soundproof has the Vampire Fangs now. He's getting close to his Desolator. Needs only about like 600 more gold, 500. There is a Sand King TPing in, but the Diabolic Edict, and they are glyphing their way. Soundproof is ready to fight this. Pit of Malice and the Dust ready, and they are just hammering this Sand King away, and Sand King is dead. I'm not sure if you want to fight this Dire. You've lost your initiation. There's the Dragon Knight form. He has a dragon scale. What an item for the Dragon Knight. He finished up the Maelstrom, and yeah, they are just going high ground. They're like, what are you gonna do about it? Oh, the double damage over time with Dragon Scale as well as the Dragon Breath. And this tower is just gone. I don't know how Radiant is, how Dire is going to defend this. They are focusing on the range drags. And there is an avalanche, but it's just not enough. And the 3-hero Pit of Malice, there is an epicenter, but he got stunned by the root. There's now a stun in from the Sand King, but they've lost 4 heroes. And Lifestealer is like, yo, I'm having a good game. We wanna like stay here? Wow, oh, the blink not quite far enough away from... Did they just BM lay down a clarity? They laid down a clarity for the enemy team. 19 minutes in, they're like, yo, you guys feel like you need a clarity. There is a Whoever did this, that's so BM. It has been picked up by Ruffneck. Or was it his? It doesn't show whose it is. So I don't know. Was it his clarity? I don't know. But whatever. If it was the Radiant, kudos, because that's some next level BM. But yeah, now we saw like Timber saw he's your most farmed hero, but he just feels like he doesn't feel like it. He has a Lotus Orb now. If he can dispel the Spirit Vessel, that's really good. But it's only a 7-second cooldown. Meanwhile, your Lotus Orb has a 15-second cooldown. So there are still ways to deal with it. Dragon Knight has the full Mjolnir now. Lifestealer finished the Desolator. And Underlord has the pipe. We see the death balling from this Radiant lineup is very scary. Dire is getting this outpost back. But Underlord is just pushing on your base. He's like, guys, you all went to get an outpost. We are getting your tier 3. Again, Dragon Scale with the level 2 Dragon Knight form. So much damage onto this tower here, like both dots. Just dealing so much damage. And now Desolator also applied to it. This tier 3 is just down to the Diabolic. There we have an epicenter onto the Leshrac. They have their Underlord ultimate. Are they going to be able to get out in time? And they do. All of them get out. They just took a tier 3 for absolutely nothing. Soundproof closing in on a Skull Basher now. Wants to have that bashing chance. And Dragon Knight did take back this outpost here. And we are 22 minutes in and it's an 11k lead now. We see this game at like 14 minutes it was completely even, and then that Radiant decided, hey, we want to push? We want to push. And they took one lane, they took another tier 3. So Dire, they have the Mask of Madness on Tiny. This Tiny, I haven't really seen this Tiny do much yet. If he's gonna be able to get in there and swing with his tree sword, with the Mask of Madness, as well as with the Bloodlust, he's dealing a lot of damage. This Ogre, he has an Essence Ring, going for Aetherlance next. The Tusk, he wants a Blink Dagger to initiate together with the Sand King. Meanwhile, Radiant is taking the Roshan. And it is a Roshan for the Lifestealer. And they're most likely just gonna push down mid now. Or bottom, whichever lane they choose to. It is gonna be mid. It is a mech now on the Underlord. He is gonna go into a BKB. Doesn't bother to finish up the Guardian Greaves. Leshrac has a Yule Scepter, has a Rod of Atos. Crystal Maiden has a Force Staff. All this team gold from getting the racks, from getting the towers. And we see 2 heroes, Pit of Malice, and they just focus down this Timbersaw. Timbersaw is dead. Buyback from the Timbersaw. And there is an epicenter into a 2-hero stun, but they don't take any damage. There is Guardian Greaves has been finished by the Underlord. Mistake by me. And Tiny, he just dies. Tiny got stuck in the pit of Malice, Sand King down as well. And none of the Radiant heroes take damage. There's the GG, well played. They know this game is over. They can't stop the death push anymore. And yeah, that's game number 1, 24 minutes. GG, Trap, Waifus. Was the pause longer than the game? Yes, it was. Let's be real here. Well played by the Radiant. And I'll see you guys in game number 2.